Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So in my this particular video, I am going to discuss one very interesting and very important part related to machine learning or data science, which actually comes under statistics. Okay, that is nothing but distribution. So what is frequency distribution? I am going to talk something about this particular part in my this video. Okay, so I hope you know what is histogram. Histogram is nothing but frequency plot for a data set. Okay, so let me just show you first one data set. I am just taking 1 1 2 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 5 6. Okay, randomly one data set I have taken and I am writing hist of x. Okay, I'll be getting the histogram. If you closely observe, it is nothing but giving me frequency or number of repetition. Okay, for each value the height is nothing but frequency or number of repetition for each value it is showing, right? See, for 1 it is appearing 2 times, for 2 it is appearing 1 time, for 3 here 3 is appearing 3 times, so you can see 3's height goes to 3, 4 is appearing 4 times, so 4 height going to 4, 5 is only appearing once, so 5 1, and 6 also 1, so 6 also 1. Okay, so this is what about histogram, which basically gives us the frequency or number of repetition for distinct values present in our data set. Now the concept is, what is distribution? Distribution is nothing but shape of my histogram. Okay, actually it is nothing but shape of my histogram. So if you just observe this particular diagram, here actually these bins are nothing but what we have got from histogram. Now if you just try to find out the shape, you will be getting this kind of fitted curve, right? So this will come under distribution. Okay, so this one, when you are trying to find out the shape of the histogram, that is called frequency distribution. Okay, and it kind of following the power law distribution. Why? What is power law distribution? Let me discuss something about this. So in power law distribution there is a particular pattern, that is, as you keep on increasing the values in x direction, the frequency or number of occurrence is basically going to decrease. Okay, you can see that as we are moving in the positive side in the x direction, the frequency or total number of repetitions is basically gradually decreasing. Okay, so this is the criteria for power law distribution. This should generally happen. Obviously not this outlier part should come in exact power law distribution. Okay, now can you give some practical example of this? Yes, there is practical example, like you can consider the earthquake signal. Okay, at very low frequency, multiple, okay, time repetition of that particular low frequency signal happens. Okay, if the frequency you increase, that kind of high frequency wave, okay, produces in a small amount, okay, there is small number of high frequency waves present in an earthquake. Okay, so that is nothing but will be following power law distribution, and obviously not outlier. So you can understand that whether outlier is present in your data set or not from the distribution of histogram. See, here we can understand that this is the general pattern of our overall data set, but there are some values which are basically far away from our actual data where they are concentrated. Okay, which is these particular some data points are far away from those, and it is somewhat differing from rest of our data set. Okay, so this gives us, this distribution also gives us idea about the outliers. Okay, now there are different types of histogram possible. There may be unimodal histogram possible, there may be bimodal histogram possible, okay, multimodal histogram possible. Unimodal is nothing but only this kind of peak, only one will appear, but for bimodal two this kind of will appear, like that, simple, right? And now I am going to discuss one very important, and in nature you will be finding many examples of this particular distribution, frequency distribution, which is Gaussian distribution. Okay, or it is also called bell-shaped curve. Okay, you can see that it is looking like bell shape, so this is called bell-shaped curve. Okay, so I hope if you have studied probability theory and random process, or maybe statistics for engineers course in your engineering courses, then you have surely studied about this particular Gaussian distribution, right? So this is nothing but two important properties this particular Gaussian distribution have. One is mean, okay, which is denoted by mu, and another one is sigma, which is basically standard deviation. Okay, so these two are basically important parameter for our Gaussian distribution. Okay, you can understand what the distribution is. It basically signifies that for low values the frequency is less. If you keep on increasing and move towards the central part where mean is located, that time the frequency or number of repetition of occurring the same event is going more and more, and as you gradually move away from the mean, frequency of or number of repetition of that particular event is decreasing. Okay, so this is making this kind of bell-shaped curve. In nature, if you consider height of all people in a country in a massive population data, then you will be finding it is going to follow this kind of Gaussian distribution. For example, age. Okay, so like for India, if you consider, the young people are more, so basically the children, okay, the small kids are, if you consider, they are not very high amount, so it is starting from lower value, then young generation is more, so as a result it is going to take this kind of peak, and then aged people are less because they are not going to survive due to disease problem as generally happens, so it is decreasing. Okay, so age basically follows this kind of distribution. Okay, blood pressure follows this kind of distribution, measurement error in experiments is basically follows this kind of distribution, IQ level, if for a huge population set, follows this kind of distribution. So this distribution has a huge importance in statistics and data science domain. Okay, what is where we can apply this distribution directly, I am going to discuss in my upcoming videos. For the time being, let me show you how you can get the distribution or the shape of histogram, which is basically the kind of curve fitting on our histogram, how you can implement this in MATLAB. Let me discuss this, right? So here what I will do, I will basically write the code in editor window, CLC, clear all, close all, warning off. Okay, now I want to generate random numbers which basically follows Gaussian distribution. So for that, the inbuilt function in MATLAB is random. Okay, I am sure that you have studied this one if you have done digital signal processing or signals and systems, that kind of course, because there to implement random process we widely use this. Okay, or if you have studied communication engineering, then in creating AWGN also we use this one sometime, right? And I am taking 10,000 random numbers which is basically following Gaussian distribution and writing hist of A. Okay, if I just run Control A and evaluate selection, I will be getting this kind of distribution which almost looks like one bell shape, but this is what is histogram. Now I want the distribution, that is shape of the histogram, kind of curve fitting. So for that you need to just write histogram and curve fitting together, hist fit. Okay, remember this command very simply, hist for histogram, fit for getting the shape or curve fitting. Okay, Control A, evaluate selection, see what you will be getting. Beautifully we are getting the distribution of the histogram. Okay, and you can see this red color curve fitted part, it is following what? Gaussian distribution, right? So this is what about the getting the distribution or shape of histogram in MATLAB. Okay, the command is hist fit. Okay, right? Now one very popular interview question, carefully try to understand. What is the relationship in between mean, median and mode in case of actual Gaussian distribution which is symmetric? Okay, this is very popular question. Try to think for a moment, pause my video and think. What is the relationship in between mean, median and mode in the Gaussian distribution? So the answer is, in case of Gaussian distribution, mean, median and mode are basically same. Okay, you can see why I am telling like this. See, at mean, see our graph is, this distribution is symmetric and taking peak at mean value of our actual data, right? So where mean is appearing, that particular number is basically appearing most number of times. For that number actually frequency is most, right? So like here you can see that here I am basically generating Gaussian distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 1. Okay, so you can see that at mean the frequency almost, it is although not actual Gaussian distribution, actual getting exact Gaussian distribution is bit difficult, but you can understand that for actual distribution, this red color curve, if you observe that at mean equal to 0, which is for this particular Gaussian distribution, mean is 0, we are getting peak, right? That is the frequency or number of repetition for that particular value is the highest in our data set. So obviously that particular is no doubt going to be mode, clear? And if you consider median, what is median? Median, if you sort your data set, then the middle value, okay? So our Gaussian distribution is symmetric, right? So here is the peak. If you consider left side will go, right side will go, exactly at middle the peak is appearing. So you can understand, right, that this is only median, because median is nothing but arrange your data set in ascending order, then take the middle value. Here in Gaussian distribution, as it is symmetric, so in the left hand side lower values will go, in the right hand side higher values will go, in the middle part the maximum value is appearing. So basically this is only the middle one. So this is only median, this is only mode, because maximum number of occurrence of the data is appearing here, right? And this is only mean, because this is Gaussian distribution is always centered around mean. Okay, here mean is 0. I will be discussing how we can change the mean and standard deviation for Gaussian distribution in MATLAB. Forget about that for the time being. What I am trying to tell, try to understand, right? So I hope it is clear. For Gaussian distribution, mean is what, median is the same, mode should be the same. Okay, for ideal case, but for approximate Gaussian distribution, you are not going to get that. But this is very important interview question, so keep this concept in mind, right? Now, suppose I am telling you generate random numbers which basically follows Gaussian distribution with a particular mean and particular standard deviation. Like here in this case, what we are doing, we are taking mean as 0, standard deviation as 1. That is actual normal Gaussian distribution. I want random. Okay, I will be giving you any value for mean. I will be giving you any value for standard deviation, and you need to give me that kind of data set which follows that kind of Gaussian distribution. So how you can do that? See, very simple. What we do for standardization, z equal to x minus mu by sigma, where x is my data set which basically follows Gaussian distribution but having mean as mu and standard deviation as sigma. We normalize this using this particular formula. So do reverse engineering. Okay, we know how to generate this normal distribution. This is the function, right? Random, which basically generates normal distribution data set, right? Mean 0, standard deviation 1. Now what I want to generate any mean, any standard deviation random number. So that is x. So if you just arrange this equation, you will be getting x equal to mu plus z into sigma. So that's what you will be getting. So generate normally distributed data set, multiply with standard deviation and add the mean. You will be getting that particular distribution, whatever you want, with mean as mu and standard deviation as sigma. Right? So let me just show you here. So what I will write, I will plot in another figure window, and here I will be doing hist fit. I will be taking, okay, Control C, Control V. Now I want, suppose mean should be centered around 3 and standard deviation previously for normal distribution it is 1. I am taking 2. Okay, so 2 means what? The graph will be basically expanded in both direction of x-axis, right? So run this whole code and see the beauty. If I just run, okay, here it is difficult to interpret, I guess. So let me just write hist only, then we can understand in better way. So you can see that in this particular graph, mean is centered around 0. But this one, if you consider, see, mean is between 2 and 4, that is 3, whatever we have mentioned. And standard deviation, you can see that, okay, let me just increase the standard deviation mode, maybe 10 I am doing. Okay, you can see the effect of standard deviation. So here you can see that the standard deviation is, if you consider this particular range, it is not that much thick, but here if you consider these two bins only, it is actually in between -10 and 10, you can see, but here actually it is in between -1 and 1, right? So this is proving that our basically the distribution is becoming expanded in both region. Okay, so this is how you can generate random Gaussian distribution of any particular mean and standard deviation, right? So this is what I wanted to discuss, how to draw the distribution, that is nothing but hist fit you need to apply. Okay, what is the importance of distribution, what is the importance of Gaussian distribution, what is the relationship in between mean, median, mode in Gaussian distribution. I hope it is clear to you. This is all for this video. Thank you for watching.